Hi all. It's been what, 2 or 3 days, I guess. Night before last, there wasn't supposed to be any rain or anything. Supposed to have been clear, and then all at once, one of those storms that came in. We're not even into monsoon yet, but you know, it was definitely a monsoon storm. I haven't seen a storm like that in a long time. You know, Phoenix used to, you know, in the late 50s, early 60s, it would cloud up and rain like crazy for 7 days, and thunder and lightning, and this was pretty much reminded me of those days. In this last storm up here, the lightning was so bad that I mean, there was just, you know, like 2 or maybe 3 seconds in between strikes, so it's just a constant crack, boom, and at one point it was so close that you can tell approximately how far away the strike was, you know, by counting. When you see it, count it: 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. You know, 3 Mississippi would be about 3 miles away or so. But one of them was so close that there was virtually no delay at all. It was just a bright light and then instant boom, and it just shook my insides. You know, that old fat was just shaking all over the place, boy. It kind of scared me. But and then, you know, it rained really hard for a few minutes, and with a lot of hail and wind, and you know, the tent held up good. It didn't leak any at all, but there's a couple of times I was afraid I was going to be rolling down the road inside the tent, you know. But it seemed to be all right. It seemed to do pretty good. So anyway, so I tried to get online the next day. This was like around 8, 9 o'clock at night, and the next day I tried to get online and, you know, talk about it and maybe do a video and stuff, and I had no service at all. There was no data service at all, and then very limited cell. I mean, sometimes it was there and sometimes it wasn't. And I tried to call home, you know. It would disconnect, it would ring, and they'd answer to disconnect, and yeah, it was just, you know, just one snafu after another with that. Took them about 24 hours, I guess, to get the cell up, or the data up, and but it was so slow. It was like dial-up. You know, it took like 5 minutes to open a page. MSN.com for what? It took like 5 or 6 minutes just to open up to the first page. If you wanted to go anywhere else, you had to wait another 5 or 6 minutes. So it's extremely slow. And some of you might remember that, the old dial-up days, you know, stick a modem in there and it made a bunch of noise, and you know, you could go get coffee and, you know, make a sandwich, and by the time you get all that done, you know, the page was just starting to open up that you were looking at. So, but then they finally, you know, the next morning they finally got it done. They say, what would that have been today, I guess? I don't know, all the days and nights are running in together already. Anyway, it's up now. It's come up pretty good last night, so I didn't do anything last night. And so today I just kind of sat around, and I didn't have my coffee by the fire. I didn't even make a fire this morning. I was just kind of laid in the tent and laid there. Got up long enough to make a cup of coffee and went back inside and just kind of laid on the bed and relaxed and drank my coffee. So anyway, that's kind of what's been going on. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to do a little question and answer thing about the truck bed cover and the tailgate and all that. So I did that for Lucky, and he was interested in the tailgate, the wooden tailgate. So if you stay tuned for that, you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. But in the meantime, CTAP, Jeff wants a tour of the camp. I'm not going to do the tour of the inside of the tent yet, because it's like I'm still a teenager and I don't clean my bedroom. So anyway, here goes with that. And like I was saying earlier, or before. The stabilizer is broke, so we're just going to have to put up with some shaky stuff here. So there's a truck and a couple of solar panels, gas cans, generator sitting there. Had to use the generator pretty much a couple of days till I get the solar panels working. For some reason, the wiring eluded me. I couldn't figure that out at all. I blamed it on elevation sickness, you know. Just mentally, of course, I'm mentally confused anyway, but I mean, this was really bad. So that's kind of out towards the road, out there. And by the way, I've only seen just a few alien transport vehicles, and they go down that road real slow, except for a couple of kids, and then they're flying through there. But you know, with the rain and all that, it not too dusty. That's the back side of the tent. Problem with this tent is there's no window on the back, as you can see. So there's not a lot of ventilation. It gets really warm in there in the daytime. And once again, I apologize for the shaky. The software that I use can take care of some of it, but not all of it. I finally got the tent figured out how to get it up so it would stay up on its own. But then, geez, the rain fly was it's still not on there right. I got string hanging all over the place and can't figure out where that all is supposed to go. So far it's been staying on. And then this is supposed to have like a little awning on it. And if you see the pictures of it, it's the Coleman Montana 8. And I can't figure that out at all. Maybe I'll get it, maybe I won't, but so far it's, you know, don't really need an awning anyway right there. So, what I should have done was brought my, that other thing, I can't think of the name of it now, screened-in building-like thing. So there's a big tree. That's what a big tree looks like up close, for those that never seen a tree. And there's some more solar panels. Got 3 over here because they get the most of the sun in the daytime. And then the 2 by the truck catch the morning sun. So I'm good on solar till about 2 o'clock or so. And then it gets all behind the trees. And then 4 o'clock it starts coming back out again. So, but you know, by then I'm fully charged on the batteries. So. And I just don't have a lot of equipment that you know, I used to run all that stuff all the time because I could, but I can't now. So anyway, that's the campsite. Somebody's deer blind over there. And like a dummy, I had an old piece of carpet that I had rolled up in my car that I'd forgotten about, so I grabbed it and threw it in the back of the truck. I was going to put it on the tent floor. And then it rained. So now it's sitting out here getting dry. Okay, I want to say right up front, my stabilizer doesn't work anymore. I guess I'm going to have to buy a new one someday. Like a real someday. Anyway, three people wanted to know about the pickup bed cover, and Lucky wants to know about the tailgate. So here goes. I'm not a good presentator. Pretty good tater, but not a presentator. Okay, well, anyway. So all I did, and she's just shaky. I'll try to cut some of that out. All I did was just a piece of ABS and I screwed it down to bed railing. We got an old bed, sleeping bed type, and used the rails for a shelf or a brace or whatever you call it for the wood to go on, you know, to rest on. And then we screwed it all right down into the frame, into angle iron. And you guys have to excuse the mess. just not organized. I come up here to camp and relax and not clean and organize. Okay, back end. Batteries are just kind of sitting there. I need to build the frame and stuff for them so that, you know, they don't go flopping around without going down the road. Slide them up in there, you know, maybe build a box or something for them out here by the wheel well so I can at least get to them. And then same way with the solar chargers and wires and all that. And we've got to do something permanent with that. Back off just a little bit. And the gate, I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're just a bolt system. Drilled a hole in a 2x4, put the 2x4s in, and secured them to the truck body, and then put in the bolt system for the tailgate. Let me open it up. Make you dizzy moving around. It's also very windy. It's also very windy all the time up here. So basically all we did is build a frame, put a piece of ABS over it, and made the tailgate. There's a bag of chain in there somewhere that I can install on the side 2x4s and then on the gate to keep it from flopping all the way down. That's basically about it. Next subject.